All right, let's dive in. Today, we're looking at the world of chocolate, specifically the financial reports of Lotus Chocolate Company. Their unaudited results for the quarter and 9 months leading up to December 31st, 2024. And, we've got a whole set of listener questions about the company. Looks like someone out there is really trying to understand what's going on here.
Well, financial statements can be a bit like a puzzle box, But that's what I love about them. They hold all the clues to a company's health and strategy and, really its potential for the future.
Exactly. And one thing that immediately caught my eye, this huge jump in revenue, over 41 billion rupees in the first 9 months of this year, compared to just 13 billion during the same time last year. That's a big jump, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, definitely raises an eyebrow. But we need to understand the full picture first. One of the first things I noticed in the report was this scheme of amalgamation. So basically, Latest Chocolate absorbed a subsidiary called Supagia Confectionery back in May 2023.
Okay, so they kind of folded another company into their operations. How does that change how we look at these numbers?
It's super important. The 2023 numbers include Supagia's financials. So that big jump in revenue isn't just from Lotus growing on its own, it's partly from this acquisition. We're comparing a much bigger company now.
Right, right. It's like when you suddenly add all the food from another kitchen to your own. Of course, you'll have
Yeah.
way more to work with. Okay, so aside from that amalgamation, how are things looking for Lotus Chocolate financially?
Well, let's break down the revenue. They brought in 14.6 billion rupees just in Q3, compared to 12.8 billion in the previous quarter, and only 5.1 billion in Q3 of the previous year. So even if we take out the amalgamation, there's still a clear upward trend in revenue.
Okay, so even without those extra ingredients from the merger, they're still doing well. But wait a second, I'm seeing something else here. Their revenue is going up, but their profit before tax is actually down from last quarter.
Hmm.
369 million rupees versus 703 million. Shouldn't those numbers be moving together?
Yeah, that's a great question. It shows why we have to look deeper than just the top line revenue. Profitability can be complicated. Profit before tax shows how much money they made before paying taxes. So it gives us a good look at how profitable their operations are. A drop in profit, even though revenue is rising, could mean a few things. Maybe their costs have gone up, like raw materials.
Oh, right, like the price of cocoa beans or sugar going up.
Exactly. Or maybe they're spending a ton on marketing to support new products.
So they're selling more chocolate, but it's costing more to do it.
Hmm. Definitely something to look into. Speaking of investigating, what about the auditor's report? It's from Deloitte, Haskins, and Sells. That's a big name, right?
Yeah, they're reputable.
Yeah.
But it's important to know what kind of review they did. This was a limited review. It's like a checkup, not a full-body scan. They looked things over, and nothing seems immediately wrong. But it doesn't mean everything is perfect.
Right, it's like a doctor saying, you seem fine for now, but come back if anything feels off.
Exactly. It gives some assurance, but doesn't rule out all the risks. Got it. So we have this picture of how Lotus Chocolate's doing. But it sounds like we need more information to really understand things. Luckily, our listeners have provided some great questions to guide us. The first one asks about comparing these results to previous quarters. Now that's where things get really interesting. Let's see if we can find some patterns here. Okay, so let's go back in time a little and look at how Lotus Chocolate was doing before these latest results.
Well, if we look at the last two quarters, it looks like this upward trend in revenue isn't anything new. They had 12.8 billion rupees in the September 2024 quarter and 16.9 billion in the June 2024 quarter. So this steady upward trend, it kind of suggests this isn't just a one-time thing.
Right, it's not like they just got lucky. Something's causing this consistent growth.
Yes, it suggests they're doing something right strategically or maybe operationally
Yeah.
or a bit of both. But to figure out exactly what that something is, we got to dig deeper.
All right, let's get our shovels. Our next question from a listener asks about those key drivers of revenue growth. And they also mention changes in the company's profit margin and cost structure. Basically, what's making them money, and is it costing them more to do it?
The million rupee questions. Unfortunately, the financial statements themselves don't tell us everything. We have to look at outside factors and industry trends.
So like the big picture chocolate landscape.
Exactly. For example, is the whole chocolate market growing? Maybe people all over are just eating more chocolate, which would naturally boost sales for everyone.
Like a rising tide of chocolate cravings. Or maybe Lotus Chocolate has a new product that everyone loves. Do they hit a new flavor trend? Or create some innovative chocolate thing that everyone's buying?
That's worth looking into. We'd have to research the market and any new products they released. And we should also think about their competitors. Are they taking market share from other companies? Are their ads really effective?
So it's not just about how much they're selling, it's about how they're positioning themselves in the chocolate world.
Absolutely. And on the cost side, a bunch of factors could be impacting their profit margin. Have raw materials become more expensive? Cocoa beans, sugar, milk. Those prices can change a lot.
Oh yeah, and then there's packaging and shipping. Those costs add up.
Definitely. And maybe labor costs are higher. They might have to pay more to attract and keep good employees.
It shows how running a chocolate company is a balancing act. They have to manage costs, stay ahead of trends, and keep everyone happy.
Right. Speaking of different parts of the puzzle, our listener's next question is about segment performance. They want to know which products or business areas made the most money this quarter, and whether domestic or international markets did better. Basically, where is Lotus chocolate most popular?
That's a tasty question. Are they winning hearts globally, or are they more of a local favorite?
Well, to really answer that, we need more detailed info than what's in these statements. If they broke down their revenue by product category, like dark chocolate, milk chocolate, or novelty items, that would give us a clearer idea.
Right, like are they riding the dark chocolate wave? Or are people still loving their classic milk chocolate? Maybe they invented some crazy new chocolate thing that's a hit.
Exactly. And for geography, if they showed revenue by region, we could see which markets are doing best. Are they expanding to new countries? Is there one country that just can't get enough Lotus chocolate?
Okay, so this is getting pretty complex. Lots of layers to this chocolate cake. This next question takes a step back and looks at the overall industry. It asks how Lotus chocolate compares to its competitors. So how are they doing in the world of chocolate?
To answer that, we need to compare them to other companies. Are they growing faster than the average chocolate company? Are they stealing market share, or are they falling behind?
It's like a chocolate race. Who's in first place, who's losing ground, and who's coming up from behind?
Right. We should also consider any challenges or opportunities for the whole industry. Are there new rules or labeling requirements affecting everyone? Are there new trends that are helping some companies more than others?
So it's not just about beating the competition. It's about adapting to the changing chocolate landscape.
Exactly. Now, this next question focuses on the challenges and opportunities for Lotus chocolate specifically. It asks about things like supply chain problems, rising costs, and any big wins they had this quarter. Basically, what hurdles are they facing and what are they celebrating?
Okay, so what obstacles are in their way and what are they doing well?
To find out, we need to look beyond the financial statements. We need to check company news and announcements. Have they talked about any major challenges or successes? Have they made any announcements about new projects or partnerships?
Like putting together a chocolate puzzle.
Exactly. And we can't forget about the overall economy. Things like inflation, interest rates, and consumer confidence. Those can have a big impact on any business, especially in consumer goods.
It's true. Even chocolate can't escape economics. Now, this next question is about Lotus Chocolate's plans for the future. It asks about any big investments they made this quarter and how these results fit into their long-term goals. So what's their vision for the future of chocolate?
The long game. This is where we think about their strategy. Are they focused on growing their existing operations and products? Are they trying to enter new markets either geographically or with new types of customers? Or are they buying other chocolate companies to get bigger?
So are they planting more cocoa trees?
Yeah.
Are they sailing to new chocolate lands? Or are they building a chocolate empire?
All possibilities.
Yeah.
We need to understand their vision to
Mhm.
know if their current performance is moving them in the right direction.
Okay, so there's a lot of strategy involved in all this. And speaking of strategy, this next question dives into.
Hold on. I think it's time for another cliffhanger. We've covered a lot, but there's still more to explore.
Yeah, you're right. We don't want to give away all the chocolate secrets at once. Let's leave our listeners wanting more. All right, we're back, ready for the final bite of our deep dive into Lotus Chocolate Company. Expert speaker, you were about to reveal the next mystery when we left off. What's next on our list of listener questions?
Okay, this one takes us into the world of investors. It asks how these results have been received by the market. Has the company's stock gone up or down? Any surprising announcements from the people running the company?
So it's not just about the numbers themselves. It's about how those numbers are seen by the people who care about them most. What's the word on the street about Lotus Chocolate?
Well, to figure that out, we'd need to look at things like analyst reports and market commentary. What are the experts saying about the company's future? Are they optimistic and think Lotus Chocolate will keep doing well? Or are they more pessimistic and have doubts?
Right, it's like, trying to read what the future holds.
Exactly. And we should also look for any hints from the company's management. What are they saying about the rest of the year? Are they suggesting any big changes, new products, or expansion plans?
So we need to read between the lines. Are they painting a positive picture, or are there signs of worry?
Exactly. Investors and analysts will be looking for any clues about potential challenges.
Okay, we need to be chocolate detectives. This next question looks ahead. It asks about any predictions Lotus Chocolate has given for the future. What trends or factors should we watch out for? So what's their outlook?
Well, to know for sure, we'd have to check their official announcements and industry analysis. Have they given any earnings forecasts or sales projections? Are they expecting continued growth, or are they worried about problems?
Right, are they preparing for tough times? Or are they expecting smooth sailing?
We'd need to analyze their statements to understand how confident they are and how they see the risks and opportunities ahead. And we can't forget those external factors we talked about: the economy, politics, even climate change. All those things can have a big impact on a global company.
It's true, even chocolate can't escape those forces. Speaking of broader trends, our next question is about sustainability and innovation. Did Lotus Chocolate make any progress in these areas? And how do they plan to stay competitive?
So for this, we need to look beyond just the financials. We should look at things like their corporate responsibility reports, news articles about their initiatives, and any awards they've received. Are they committed to ethical sourcing? Are they trying to reduce their environmental impact?
Yeah, these days, consumers really care about those things. So it's not just about doing the right thing. It's also good for business. So is Lotus Chocolate really putting their money where their mouth is when it comes to sustainability? Are they using sustainable packaging, supporting fair trade, investing in the well-being of cocoa farmers?
All great questions. Their answers would tell us a lot about what they value and their long-term goals. And for innovation, are they investing in research and development, creating new flavors, new ways of making chocolate, maybe even exploring totally new types of candy?
So are they happy with where they are? Or are they pushing the boundaries of chocolate? Are we on the edge of a chocolate revolution?
Now, that would be exciting. It just goes to show that innovation and sustainability often go together, finding new ways to make great tasting products while also minimizing their impact on the environment.
All right, on to the last question in our investigation. This one takes a broader view and asks what questions investors and stakeholders might have after seeing these financials, and how regular consumers should interpret the company's performance.
That's a great way to finish up. It makes us think about different perspectives and why people might be interested in Lotus chocolate. Investors might only care about profit, while consumers might care more about quality, taste, and ethics.
So true. It reminds us that every number tells a story, and different people will focus on different parts of that story.
Right. Someone who cares about the environment might want to know about the company's sustainability efforts, while someone with a food allergy might be looking for info about ingredients.
It's all about understanding that a company's performance is complex. There's the financial side, but also the ethical side, the environmental side, and the social side.
Well said. And as informed consumers, it's our job to consider all those things when we choose which products to buy and which companies to support.
Extra speaker, I think we've uncovered all the secrets of Lotus chocolate. Any last thoughts before we let our listeners enjoy their next chocolate bar? Hopefully with a new understanding of everything that goes into it.
I think the biggest takeaway is this. Financial statements are just the beginning. They give us a glimpse of how a company is doing, but to really understand why they're doing that way, we need to look deeper. We need to think about the bigger picture, the industry trends, the company's strategy, and their commitment to sustainability and innovation.
Perfectly put. It's about going beyond the numbers and understanding the full story, the human story behind everything. And when that story involves chocolate, it makes it even more enjoyable. Until next time, happy chocolate eating, everyone.